Now, you've already seen me shine the spotlight on the bad. But what about the good? What about the heroes of the community who try to at least rid of the scumbags that dwell around the place? Allow me to introduce you to the vigilantes. By the way, these people aren't exactly in the wrong, and I'm not trying to lump them into the same group as Orange Game or whatever. This was intended to be a half-satirical commentary in the first place, so that means I get to poke fun out of the other side as well. With that out of the way, first is Goofy Tamagotchi's, as horrible as that name sounds, and is to write out who pretty much does the same thing I'm doing except differently, and might be still stuck in 2020. He's done a video on Orange Game which is now deleted for whatever reason, 2 on Asakurachi, and 1 on Toslin, who finally entered the vigilantes shit list. I know there's nothing about this guy that could raise eyebrows, but there's just a few things I want to criticize: his unfunniness, really, censorship, and this Robot Jones-ass text-to-speech voice he only used once.
Today I'll be covering the most childish Tamagotchi creator worse than Landon the Toontown Toon.
But mostly the unfunniness. Don't take this too personally, but you really should lay off the corny reaction images even if you're trying to appeal to the 12-year-olds watching your videos. Choose Imperial Insanity, who will be called PII for the rest of the video, as another vigilante who outside of the community just does mainly Friday Night Funk and Pibby crossover shit, which sounds exactly like what you think it would. I'm not here to shit on some kid's Five Nights at Freddy fanfiction though, so let's look at one of his other videos targeted towards Orange Game, and it looks like he's got a pretty angry message for him.
This motherfucker right here. You see him? I'm legitimately gonna fucking crash out over this guy. I have beef with this bitch. Mr. Shit His Pants? You know how that one motherfucker, what the fuck is this, man?
It's a nothing video where he just goes off about Orange Game and Sakurachi, and how he wants to crucifix a plush of him like that hecking Fallout scene. Aside all of that, he actually made a LARP channel based off a certain Orwell book that is in quotes dedicated to getting rid of the filth in fandoms, and hasn't been active in months as of now. If you thought GDG's censorship was a little annoying, then allow PII to show you an even worse one, where you can't even make out what you're looking at.
I'm gonna talk about Orange Game 07 today, so yeah.
Also, one final thing to note is that he actually did plan to put Orange Game and the others into his FNF fanfic, which is genuinely a very terrible punishment you can give to someone, and I wouldn't wish it upon my worst enemies. Chase the Stick Boy, which that name sounds so wrong on so many levels, to me is a bit of a special one, because he's gotten into multiple fights since his entire internet presence, and still kept his reputation in the community, from Go Animate to having a drama-centric channel. Two other things I really know this guy for is this video, where he got so angry on camera, as a kid, with him beeping out his swears, and really terribly made Mamechi and Mimechi porn. I really don't know much about him aside from those honestly fuck shit he can brawly wojacks out of anyone he dislikes. Don't fuck with this guy. Okay, that was pointless, and so is this entire part. Let's move on already. This will definitely be a fun one to talk about. If you ever been on any Tamagotchi video in the last 2 years, and went on to the comments, you may have seen this little faggot before, or on a different video, or any other video related to the Tamagotchi franchise. He demands the anime to be dubbed in English primarily, but not just English, every fucking language in the world. I already did a video on him before, but that was back when all I knew him for was his habit of shitting up comment sections for something impossible because he didn't want to learn Japanese. If you were to look up his name on YouTube, you'd see he'd got into conflicts revolving the Tylenol community because he flung shit at people with different opinions he didn't like and wanted to turn people against veggietales. Why veggietales will never be explained, because Toslin is too busy spending his lifespan entirely on spamming for a mediocre Chinese cartoon about virtual
What the living fuck? Toslin. You just bashed my opinion on veggietales. Bashing opinions on something I like or hate will not work. And now you're caught in 4K.
Shut the fuck up!
Toslin at times can come up with pretty funny comments, with an example being the autism vibes comment you just saw not too long ago. Here is a few comments from him during the argument we had. Also, there's a reason I called him a stalker in one comment I made, although that may or may not be actually true, but months ago, Toslin added me on Roblox for some reason. When I changed my nickname days before and when I tried to talk to him, he didn't even respond when he was online. I waited patiently before saying fuck it and unfriended him, and since then I haven't gotten re-added back. Anyway, Toslin has free transformation fetish games favorited on his Roblox account, but that's not the only thing about Toslin that's fucking weird. Unfortunate. I'm pretty sure not a lot of people are aware of what this guy is into except for Boofy Llama Weezers, in which I will show an excerpt of his video because I have something to say about the part I'm talking about.
His Twitter account. It's so bad I can't even show a single image.
He fearmongers about how Toslin's Twitter account is oh so terrible, but when I looked I barely saw anything alarming besides his usual spamming. Even on Twitter logged in I still couldn't find shit except for his follows where multiple diaper fetish and other perverted craps are on it, which brings me to his 2 other accounts on different platforms which are far worse than what gay toilet gentlemen claim to have witnessed, unless those were wiped when his video on Toslin came out. Unlike him, it's all gonna be shown on the video with the gross parts censored obviously. You might want to look away, or skip to if this makes you feel uncomfortable like any sane human being. Now for the people who chose to stay and look at such man-made horrors.
You're gonna see some serious shit.
You still with me there? Yes? Good enough. However, I'm not done just yet, because we still have to go through his fur affinity page. One thing before I continue is that compared to DeviantArt, the users there are much freakier, so what you saw before will be tame compared to whatever the hell awaits. I miss the time when all I knew this guy for was his idiotic spam campaign. Now that I'm completely scarred from doing that, and the thought of diapers bring me dread, let's refresh a bit with something less horrific to look at that is not a literal bag of puke shitting themselves in what babies wear. Toslin tends to have the memory span of a peanut, and a good example of this comes from his relationship with
It's over Super 451. I have a high ground. Cringe, and that's weird. What's the mustard in the mango super giddy episodes? I know it's you Super 451 and stop denying it. You really need help instead of with gross content out of Tamagotchi characters, mainly the Tamagirls. Your content is not safe for work if you're the long-nosed man.
Several months later.
What happened to most of your Tamagotchi artwork?
I am not your boy!
So I guess either he gave in and joined with Orange Game 07 after being outed by Goomba Tommy guest list, or he was always like this and wanted to keep a clean image so the vigilantes don't kill him for wanking to diaper porn out of a bowl. I think I dragged this part for too long now and I really don't want to do any more of this. Thanks for watching and don't expect another video like this ever again.
Found Toslin's new theme song. No shame either.
Hi, Master on the beat, ho, Master on the Master.